Well, happy summer, everybody. As we move in past the primary and going through August so fast, it seems. I've finally had a few days to take to myself, which has been great. I always try to take a moment throughout the day, but to get a full day of, let's just say, non-intentful living, maybe. I don't know. Had a great day yesterday. Went up to the Cheeseburger Festival in Caseville, Michigan with a couple of my boys, and we had some fun just in general conversation, listening to music and talking about the past and talking about the future, talking about our lives, talking about love and life, all those good things. And as my mind kind of clears from the gunfire I normally have to take, being in this role that I am in, whether it is my political play or my pastoral play or my practical play, it's hard to take a stance in what you believe, because there's always going to be somebody that doesn't believe like you believe, and confrontation is always uncomfortable. We seem in a day of that hatred is what is almost considered normal. Revenge is normal. And we scream and fight for what many people would say, it's my right. Yet, really what they're saying, it's my selfishness. Maybe not. But it's certainly a concern with understanding what your rights are. Again, we are a constitutional republic, and in doing so, we ought to be preserving it. We ought to be aware of what we think, what we believe, why we believe it, and when we find ourselves in disagreement, what do we use as a resolve? Is it more anger? Is it more hatred? Is it more division? Or do we find something that unites us? And I happen to believe the Constitution unites us. Now, sometimes we have differences in understanding of interpretation, and this is part of the struggles of what we have in a constitutional republic, because we forget that there was a document that was put together to balance those powers and authorities out so that we can actually have some discernment about what we believe and how we believe it. So anyways, these are just some of the concerns that I have on what do we stand for. As a candidate for Congress, I really have one role. People always ask me, well, what are you going to do? Or basically, what are you going to do for me? If it benefits their personal economics, well, then they'll vote for you. Or, I don't know. To me, that's kind of a whoredom type of philosophy. But anyways, what the thought is as a congressman, our sole role is to uphold the Constitution of the United States, and to do so without mental reserve, meaning we can't pick and choose the things that we want to defend and don't want to defend, or things we like and we don't like. Our role is to uphold the existing Constitution, and whoever's in charge to do the exact same thing. That means also the people in Congress that are there, the administration and all the officials and all the branches that are involved throughout that process. And so again, it's a big concern of how we do that, how we accomplish it, because we have played this game for 150 years that more laws and more legislation is going to fix everything. Again, and if we would realize the value of our Constitution and uphold it and preserve it, and get a better understanding where we can actually, when we see it being violated, we can say something about it, and then collectively we come together and say, hey, that's not going to work. Because right now, Congress is so out of control, government is so out of control, they're not going to fix themselves, and they're not going to vote to fix themselves. So what we have to do is fix us. We have to fix the way we vote. We have to fix our mental makeup, our purpose and goals and our intents, because if solely we're we're existing for the survivor and the consumption of that same dollar, whether it's your union, or whether it's your school, or whether it's your job, or whether it's the appropriation of all the money that comes in through taxation. We fight over those things, and those are the things that end up dividing us, when we should find the thing that unites us, and that's our Constitution. And once we get a better understanding of that, preserving it and upholding it, I really believe we can preserve and fix the freedoms that allow everybody else's existence. And so these are just some of the concerns that I have, that we really don't know what we want, because most of the time it's a selfish want, a selfish appetite. And if we could actually think about what's going to happen in the next generation if nothing changes, what's going to happen over the next 20 years if nothing changes. What if we start having a vision of what's going to happen over the next 50 years or the next 100 years? And I know we have planning commissions and organizations and so forth, but most of that's global elitist philosophy, which is more greed and consumption anyways. So, and it's not being a billionaire that's the problem. You know, again, it goes back to an old adage, that the love of money is the root of all evil. You can like it or don't like it, but it happens to be a truth, that when there is a passion, okay, and we use the word love in the same likeness as you may know it, you're going to make decisions that you normally wouldn't make because of the love in your life, right? And because, again, we don't understand love, let alone the love of it. But again, as we exercise what we know of love, it really is, you know, I'll do good to you as long as you do good to me. We think love is what you get and not what you give. But true ownership, or I should say, true generosity is what you give away and not what you hold on to sometimes. And so we can learn that love is what we give and not what we get. We change the way we've been programmed. And I'm sorry if you like it or not, but I really believe it's a global directive, a misunderstood narrative, or a rewritten narrative of the things that are happening around us. It's the problem that we have, you know, with general media, is when they decide to use their creative writing course from high school to write news, and it really certainly minimizes our intellect. So those are just my thoughts. Out for a little bike ride this morning. Thought I'd share some things with you. Let's get back to being upholding and preserving our Constitution for the next generation, and understanding its application in our current world and the world to come. So God bless you all. Have a great day.